Grand risings, beautiful angels, kings and queens, light workers of the world. How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing great. I am super happy today to be coming to you and sharing one of my favorite topics in the world. One that has helped me so much on my journey, and one that I have seen help so many others on their transformational journey. Today we'll be talking about juice fasting, or as you might know it as juice cleansing as well. Because although it is a fast from solid food, we are nourishing our bodies with so much nutrients, healthy vitamins, healthy calories, so you will not feel depleted on this fast or cleanse, right? It has brought me so many benefits in my life, and I have seen so many people benefit greatly from this type of cleansing as well. It is a total mind, body, and spirit transformation that will help you on your journey, no matter where you're at, whether you're transitioning to raw living foods, whether you have done juice cleansing before, whether you've never had a plant-based day in your life. This will help kickstart or deepen your transformation. So I have taken some notes so that I don't leave anything out. It's important that I get all the information to you properly so that you can have the most beneficial experience. As always, my videos are unedited right now, so raw and unfiltered with Queen Aline. So please bear with me if I do make some mistakes. The important thing is to get the information to you, and so that you can benefit from this and somebody that you love can benefit from this as well. This is super important information that I feel super blessed that I was able to get access to and experience hands-on. So I have had hands-on experience with juice cleansing over the last 8 years of my journey. So if you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments or reach out to me by email, and I'll be happy to support you on your journey. Also, my community that is coming up soon, so keep posted with that. Stay in touch, stay connected, because we're going to have an amazing support community that will be able to be there for you through your transformation. It's important to have people around us, a mentor, and others that are doing this with us, because we can feel quite alone in the world, especially with our families sometimes that don't understand or think what we're doing is completely out of this world. What do you mean you're juice cleansing? That's crazy. Right? You gotta eat. You gotta get salt in you. You gotta put some rice and chicken in you. You're gonna die. So we might be getting some fear from other people, and I'm here to tell you, have no fear. There is nothing to fear. You're going to be getting a lot of nutrition, a lot of calories, high density nutrition like you probably might never have experienced in your life. So there's nothing to be afraid of. I have gone 113 days on juices alone, and I have known others who have gone 120 days and longer to heal themselves of issues that they were told were incurable, chronic, needed operations, and on the verge of death, and they completely reversed their situation completely and naturally with the help of juice cleansing. And they are now thriving as raw vegans. They are thriving as plant-based warriors of the light, raising up their frequency, overcoming their depression, anxiety, diabetes, reversing completely their diabetes naturally. So there is nothing that we cannot heal ourselves, right? There is nothing that we cannot do with the help of God, with the help of Jesus in our life, in our hearts. We can do anything. We can literally transform ourselves. And this is what this juice cleanse is for. It's to revolutionize our bodies, minds, and spirits. It's about alchemy. It's about transforming darkness, dense energies, into lighter energies, into our lighter beings, and entering, higher states of consciousness, allowing ourselves to raise our consciousness, to raise our frequencies so that we can embody who we're truly born to be and live our mission here on earth, right? So when we cleanse ourselves, when we remove parasites from our temple and detoxify on a cellular level, then we get to know who we really are. Know thyself. It's all about knowing who we are deep inside. We were born pure in perfect balance and harmony. And we are affected by a lot of parasitic activity inside our bodies, inside of our brains, around our organs. And we need to cleanse these out. We need to purge them out. Now, there are different cleanses. I'm not saying this is the only cleanse in the world. I am, promoting something that has worked for me. This is also not the only way to become raw vegan. I just want to say that there are many avenues to transition to a fully raw living food diet. It is just my experience that this has been an accelerated catalyst, an accelerated, quick, hunker down, get down and dirty, just let's get this sludge and mucoid plaque out of us. So that leads me to the first intro, basically the purpose of a juice cleanse. So we'll go into the physical, mental, and spiritual parts of juice cleansing, because it is not just physical. It has a lot of layers to it. And before I get into the purpose of the juice cleanse, I do want to bring in the Word of God into this video and into everything that I do, because without God, without Jesus in our hearts, we can only go so far. I will say that if you want true healing, that if you want to really access that spiritual enlightenment that we are seeking through our physical detoxification, then we must turn our hearts over to God, right? That is the main thing that I have learned. And this is why I haven't started a channel or my website also before this year, because I truly needed to surrender to these teachings and to God, really, and to be able to teach other people to also turn their hearts over to God, because we cannot talk about raw foods, we cannot talk about healing, holistic healing, without talking about this aspect of it and our Creator, who is just waiting for us to surrender, and who will help us through our surrender and through our cleansing, fasting, and beautiful metamorphosis, or beautiful revolution from within. We walk hand in hand with Jesus and with God. They will hold us up. So Isaiah 58:6, fasting will loose the bands of wickedness, undo the heavy burdens, let the oppressed go free, and break every yoke. Right? There's a lot of passages in the Bible and the New Testament about fasting. Howbeit this kind go not out, only by prayer and fasting. Matthew 17:21. There's a passage before that too, if you want to see it, and it's really good. Okay, and I'll read one more and then we'll go into the juice cleanse. Seek the kingdom of God above all else. Live righteously, and He will give you everything you need. Matthew 6:33. I love these passages because for me they are promises, right? They are promises that when we do these things, that when we do fast, when we do pray, when we get clean, we give up drugs and alcohol. And this is one of the promises as well in in the fellowship in AA and CA is that when we put in practice these principles and we live a life of action in line with God, that all of his promises come true, that we do get to live a happy life, a financial prosperity and abundance, love, good relationships, everything that we have in our hearts, all our dreams will manifest. They are manifesting because we are in co-creation with our Creator. So when we do good, when we change our entire perspective on life and start feeling happy, start overcoming all of these diseases and our mental struggles as well, then he gives us so many blessings. He helps us in so many ways. If you only saw the miracles that are happening in my life, especially during fasts, especially during cleansing, they are incredible. So thank you so much for staying with me this long, because I know you know that there's something important in all of this. And even if it's challenging to take in, just sometimes having an open heart and an open mind is enough for the blessings to come our way. So let's go back to the purpose. I started talking a little bit about mucoid plaque. And a lot of people out there are promoting juice cleansing, 7-day juice cleanse, 10-day juice cleanse, and they're all beautiful and great to detox, right? However, it was only when I started finding out about mucoid plaque from Dr. Richard Anderson from the Rise and Shine protocol in the 80s. So he healed himself. You could look him up, all kinds of different issues. He was on the verge of death, and he released mucoid plaque, which is basically old accumulated waste, mucus, parasites, biofilms, and it comes out like it's rubbery. You guys, this is not just normal poop. This is like you could hold it up with a chopstick and it will hold up. Right? And you could look it up online, you could look it up on Google, because this is absolutely incredible. And the more a person is sick, the darker it's going to be, the harder it's going to be, and also the longer it will take to release. So I just want to say that. This is the path of the warrior, you guys. This is not just silly tricks or a quick pill or anything like that you take. This is going to take some work, because it has taken a long time to accumulate this waste inside of your system, So if you are struggling with chronic issues, then it might take a little bit longer to release this plaque, and it might be harder and denser, darker, but better out than in, right? And this is your chance to heal yourself of, all of your issues that might, be needing surgeries or very expensive medication that will only create more problems. Actually, medication contributes a lot to the formation of mucoid plaque. So if you have taken a lot of medication or are on medication, then it's going to show in the waste that comes out. And I was vegan for 7 years when I did my extended juice cleanse, my first extended juice cleanse. And I had done juice cleansing before, and I almost did it kind of to prove myself or to prove to people that I didn't have that much waste inside of me, right? I did not think I had so much waste. So I can only imagine those who come from, a regular, American diet. What comes out of us is absolutely unbelievable. It was unbelievable. You could check out my sister, Magri Jade. She has a beautiful YouTube channel, and she made a video about her poo that came out of her. Days and days and days of crap just coming out nonstop, just poop, poop, poop. We are full of shit, literally. So we got to get this shit out. And most humans carry around, between 15 and 30 pounds or more, 50 pounds, I would say, of waste that has not been eliminated. So when we see people with big guts, when we see people that are very inflamed, it is not just fat. It's a lot of unprocessed crap that just cannot leave the body until we juice cleanse. So juice cleansing gives the body a break, gives a digestive system a break so that we can eliminate, right? So the juices will soften everything up. It'll give the body a complete rest, a rest to get all this stuff out. And I'll go into a little bit more of the protocol as well with the husk and clay that will act as detoxers and brooms to help pull out everything as well. So yes, to remove the parasites, the mucoid plaque, old biofilm. So these come from, heavy metals, environmental pollutants, unhealthy food, from the moment you've been eating cooked foods, processed foods, then this accumulates in the system. And it is not just the large intestine. So colonics will remove what's in the large intestine. However, doing this protocol will remove what's in the small intestine, as well as around the organs, right? The interstitial fluids from around the organs. And so mainly the small intestine. It cannot be targeted with a colonic or an enema, which are really good too. However, this is coming from a different place. This is accumulated really in the small intestine. All right. So and then our cravings, our addictions are coming from our parasites, and that's one of the main things that we want to cleanse out is the entities that are inside of us that are literally controlling our minds, controlling our thoughts, our tastes even. So, if it doesn't grow on a tree, if it doesn't grow in nature, we shouldn't be eating it. We shouldn't be having cravings for Snicker bars or hamburgers or French fries or cheese even. These are parasitic foods, and we are basically feeding the parasites when we eat these foods, right? There's no cheese tree or a Snickers tree or anything like that. This is a man-made creation to keep us sick and to keep us and intertwined in the medical system, so that we are dependent on their drugs and pills that are really not there to make us better in any kind of way. So, most of the grocery stores, you'll look at them and you'll start seeing them in a different way too. When you go raw, you will start seeing these things as not being food, as being like parasite foods, not designed for our sacred temple. So when we remember who we are, when we remember how divine and how God-like we are made in the image of God, right? Know yourself, love yourself. You were made perfect. And he who knows, the kingdom of heaven knows that it's within him. So, or her. So when you start treating yourself like a god, then you don't eat those things anymore. Okay, so parasites out. There's a lot of different parasite cleanses as well. There are different ways we could get the parasites out. This, I find, has been the most effective. And then also staying raw vegan after that will help keep the parasites at bay. Okay, so emotionally and spiritually. So yes, you will, lose a lot of waste and feel great. You'll see your eyes start sparkling and your skin start healing. I have healed a lot of my skin issues with juice cleansing and staying raw vegan. And so also on top of the physical, you will experience some emotional healing as well, and some spiritual healing. So everybody has a different experience, but mostly we will vary. It will vary from day to day as well. We can't have too much expectations on this kind of experience because it really is a plant journey. It's a plant experience that, if you've done any other kind of sacred medicines, is different from person to person. So don't attach yourself too much to my experience or to somebody else, because you may be having some completely different kind of experience. Be like, oh, I didn't have a bad day, or, I didn't cry at all. And some other people might be crying a lot, or, some people might be more ready to deal with certain issues that might come up to the surface. It's nothing to be afraid of. It is there because you're not stuffing it down with food. You're not numbing it with crunch, 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 and chew, chew, chew. So when we don't have these addictive, habits, or even smoking, maybe you let go of smoking during your fast, or quit the coffee during the fast, which the fast will help you with as well if you're ready to get into that. So when we don't have these habits to numb us, then what happens? We realize everything that we were numbing. We might experience some sadness for a breakup that happened when we were younger, or we might get in touch with a dream that we had forgotten, or like a skill even, or maybe tap into our artistic side. There's so much that can happen when we are not, first of all, busy eating and doing the physical act of chewing, which is a form of distraction, which is a form of self-soothing. Because let's face it, we don't just eat to feed ourselves, we eat for emotional purposes too. So when we juice cleanse, then we realize all the reasons why we do the things we do. What's underneath. And it's a great opportunity to dig deep and to give ourselves that chance to release what needs to be released. It needs to be healed, because those stuck emotions, those repressed, no, I'm okay, or let's just sweep that under the rug time and time again. Well, that creates diseases too. Those emotions create issues in our psyche and our body and our energetic field. So the sooner we can heal them, the sooner we can cry them out, the sooner we can scream them out, or whatever it needs to be, paint them or express them in some kind of healthier way than repressing, then the better it is. And on the long run, we want that to happen. We want that emotional healing to happen. So we celebrate it. We celebrate the bad days. We celebrate the tears. We celebrate the anger coming up to the surface, because these are all part of you. They're all parts of you that maybe are harder to accept. But in this society, we just want to go towards the pleasure all the time, avoid the negative, avoid the difficult. And when we're ready to heal ourselves, well, it means not just physically, but it means facing our demons. It means facing our shadows, facing our jealousy, facing everything, and it's a beautiful thing, because then after that we get to be so much more liberated and so much more authentic beings that are aligned with who we truly are and our real feelings. So, and we become more childlike too, which is an amazing thing. We become just more in tune with that bliss state, that joy state. And in order to feel that extreme of joy state, we also have to allow ourselves to go maybe to that sadness a little bit more. So it's when we numb the joy, when we try to numb the sadness, we also numb the joy, is what I wanted to say, with substances or with food. But if we want to experience the full spectrum, then we have to say yes to the full experience. I hope I'm making sense. Also, just from a physical standpoint, most of serotonin is produced in our gut, so over 75%, and not in our brain, like a lot of people say or think. That's why they prescribe us antidepressants to fix an imbalance in the brain. So no, it's produced in the gut. So juice cleansing will help improve the mood, overcome depression, anxiety, all of that. So when we heal our gut, we balance our hormones better, and we improve our entire life. deeper connection to ourselves, deeper connection to God, deeper connection to our angels and, spirit guides, our counsel looking after us up there in heaven, right? And just touching base with who we really are. Okay, so those are the benefits, and now I will get into the protocol a little bit more. It's important to know the benefits because it's important to know the why. Why are you doing this? And I wanted to take some time. I don't want to cut this short because everybody just kind of wants to get it done with, but it's like, why are we doing this? And it's important to take the time and really touch base with ourselves and say, okay, am I doing this for health reasons? Am I doing this for spiritual reasons? Am I doing this, to transition into raw foods, have clarity, do this for my children, I need to lose weight, all this stuff. Write it down. Write down why you are feeling called to this, and to solidify your decision and to solidify whatever you will do, so that, if in 10 days or 15 days into your juice cleanse you hit a healing crisis or something challenging comes up, then you are armed with your why and also the Word of God. So have some spiritual books next to you, get the Bible, read whatever resonates with you that will help you move through, even if it's quotes from the Bible or quotes about fasting or love or surrender. Like, all these things will help you stay on track. Okay. The most important thing of the whole protocol, if you remember one thing, is drink enough juice. Drink a lot of juice. Do not restrict, right? Do not restrict. This is not the time for restriction. You want to prepare yourself. It will take you some time to make the juices. It will take you some time to clean your machines and, get the groceries. You can maybe order them in bulk ahead of time, maybe get them delivered to your house, try to make it as easy as possible to get this going, It is a bit of a time-consuming process, and it's also part of the hero's journey. It's part of the meditation. It's part of the whole experience to make our juice every day. So make it a blessing, make it joyful, put some music on, sing to your juices if you want, and just make it part of your initiation process, I would call it. Always have juice on you wherever you go. You want to carry them in glass jars, not in plastic jars. It's always better to save them in glass jars to prevent the oxidation from happening too fast. Bring some ice, cooler, whatever. You do whatever you got to do to always stay hydrated. You're thirsty, drink juice. You're hungry, drink juice. You're sad, drink juice. You get the drift. We want to pull out the toxins. We want to really get to the bottom of this. So, as a rule of thumb, we want to drink a minimum of 4 quarts, those big mason jars. So 4 quarts to 8 and possibly 10 quarts a day if you need to. I had some days where I was drinking up to 10 quarts of liquid a day. So that comes up to about 2 gallons. So 1 to 2 gallons of juice per day. Okay, so that's 3,000 calories minimum. You're not going to starve. You are getting a lot of calories, a lot of high quality nutrition. 3,000 to 4,000 calories. And again, do not restrict. Let yourself go wild with the juices. And we want to have citrus juice. Prioritize the citrus juice. So oranges, pineapple, grapefruit. You can have them individually or you can mix these up. These go well together. So you could have, I would say 2 to 3 quarts of citrus juice. And then we want to have the lemon ginger blast, which is Lou Corona's recipe. It has been adapted by many different people. I will be super honest that I did not measure my lemon ginger blast, but as long as you have all of the ingredients that I will name, then it's all good. You know, you can play around a little bit with it. You can adjust it to make it to your tasting. Add a little bit more green apple. We are not here counting, you know, exact ingredients. And also the size of the food might change. Some countries might have smaller celery, might have bigger cucumbers. So it's not a perfect science, right? We're here using our intuition. We're becoming our own doctors. We're becoming our own healers. So as long as the ingredients I list are all there, then it's perfect, right? And we want to have 2 to 3 quarts of lemon ginger blast a day. So 2 to 3 of astringent juices, the pineapple, orange, grapefruit, and also 2 to 3 quarts of lemon ginger blast. So we're up to, depending, 4 to 6 quarts. And then we will also have 1 or 2 quarts of fruit juice of your choice. So watermelon, grape, apples, knock yourself out. These are also astringent juices, but we want to put the focus on the citrus for removal of the mucoid plaque. However, we want to have an enjoyable cleanse, a fun cleanse, a tasty cleanse. So feel free to have whatever other fruit juice or even vegetable juice. If you like beet juice, if you enjoy carrot juice, you can have carrot juice, right? So we want to continue with the juice cleanse as effectively and as joyfully as possible. So enjoy yourself. Any kind of juice. The only ones I would recommend not really having is like the thicker juices. Like don't have mango. Mango is kind of thick. Don't try to juice bananas, that kind of stuff. Also, a very important thing. I'll get the lemon ginger blast recipe in a second. Very important thing to strain your juices. Strain your juices because we don't want any fiber in the juices, right? We want it to be smooth, silky smooth, with no insoluble fiber. You are still getting some fiber in the juices. However, we don't want the ones that would require any kind of digestion. So strain it, double strain it, the fine mesh strainer, or you can do it in a nut bag, the nut milk bag. Those are nice and they have like tiny, tiny holes. So you just take it and then you would squeeze it and pour it out like that, right? So make sure to strain your juices. It's very, very, very important. Let's get to the recipe of the lemon ginger blast. Okay, so you'll have to play around with these amounts so that you can see what the yield is, because like I said, everywhere is a little bit different, and the recipe I got was a certain amount. But basically, I'll do for about 1 quart, you know? So it would be like one big bunch of celery, one of those big bunches of celery. I would put, actually, that's going to be more than 1 quart. I told you I'm not very good with the measurements. Okay, so celery, a lot of celery. Cucumber, maybe 2 large cucumbers. Or more. If you're going to do a big amount, just get a lot of cucumbers. I would just put it in there. I would just be like 3, 4 cucumbers. You know, you want to make a large amount. So 3, 4, 5 cucumbers, big ones. If you're going to get like the big thing of celery, definitely get like 4 cucumbers. About 6 green apples or more, right? So if you like it kind of sweet, get more apples. I like to put extra green apples because I like it kind of sweet. And you will see with the other ingredients, you might want that too. And that's okay, you know, apples, cucumbers, celery, bunch of parsley. Parsley is really antioxidant, really cleansing, pulls out the toxins, flushes out the mucoid plaque, also the mucus. So parsley, 1 bunch of cilantro, 1 inch of fresh ginger, or more. That's actually going to be more ginger. So like put like 2 inches of ginger. Yeah. And also 2 inches of fresh turmeric. I'm going to change it here as well so I don't forget. All right, perfect. So 2 inches of fresh ginger, 2 inches of fresh turmeric, and at least 2 peeled lemons. You can also, if they're organic, you can put the skin in. It's up to you. But peeled lemon, put them whole into the juicer, and that will be perfect. So some people can use lime. If you don't have access to lemon, that's okay. Lemon and lime are perfectly fine. So celery, cucumber, apples, parsley, cilantro, ginger, turmeric, and lemon. You can also add mint to your recipe if you'd like. You can also add a little bit of jalapenos or habanero peppers if you want. That helps with upping the digestion. I wouldn't put a lot though because it can be irritating, but just like a tiny bit can be okay. All right, so that's the lemon ginger blast. You can have them anytime you want during the day. How I like to do it was to do the fruit juices in the daytime. So breaking fast with, for example, watermelon juice or orange juice would be ideal because those are energizing. Those give you a lot of, stamina, mojo to get your day going. And then in the evening, afternoon, I would do the vegetable juice for grounding. Now, the lemon ginger blast is intense. So if you want, you can kind of alternate it with some citrus juice. So you could do like lemon ginger blast, half a quart, and then have a little bit of orange juice, and then go back to the lemon ginger blast if you'd like to do that. But I would not recommend having the fruit juices too late at night. It will keep you up, and you may experience some extra energy anyway from the juices. So you want to make sure that you're grounding before bedtime and not like high on, natural juices from the fruit, which are totally safe, by the way. If people tell you, oh my God, you're drinking too much sugar, that's crazy, that's too much sugar, just tell them it's all good. It's all good. This is what our body actually craves, the sugars from the fruit. We're not talking about Fruit Loops here. We're talking about natural sugars that get processed, metabolized, and absorbed really, really fast in our bloodstream and in our body. So there is no problem there. I lost about 30 pounds on my 100-day juice cleanse, 113 days, and I put it all back, because I lost the waist and then I got back to a healthy weight. And so I wasn't in a position where I really needed to lose that much weight, but I needed to lose the waist, if that makes sense. So I ended up putting it back, but it was like all healthier. It was all muscles. So if you're worried of losing the weight and not putting it back, you will be okay, with a good refeeding program and staying on the raw foods with healthy protein and fat macros. You'll be good to put it back in a healthy way. If you need to lose a lot of weight, then it will not come back if you stay on the raw foods. If you have like 50 or 60 pounds of weight to lose, then you will lose the waist and you will continue to stay at a healthy weight after your juice cleanse, right? Okay, so you could make your juices ahead of time as well to make it easier for you. I would say 2 days, 3 days max. 3 days max if they're in a jar that's glass, and if you pour it all the way to the top and you leave less air in the jar as well, that'll be good to save it longer in the fridge, of course, always in the fridge. But we want the enzymes to stay as intact and the nutrients as like vibrant as possible. So the day is always the best, and then 2 days is really good, but then 3 days it starts to lose a little bit of its potency. It's still good though, but I would try to do it for 1 or 2 days, and you'll see it's quite a bit of juice, so you might not want to make it for 3 days. Also, to keep it more fresh, you can add, some slices of lime or squeeze a little bit of lime in the juice. Don't mix your watermelon with any other juice. I would keep the watermelon separate, all the cantaloupe separate. Melons are always best to be consumed on their own. What kind of juicer would I recommend? So a slow masticating juicer is ideal. We don't want any of those fast juicers or quick juicers that we could find at any store. Some of them are okay, like the Omega is good. Also, I would recommend the Kuvings, which is a little bit higher price point. However, it has been I've had mine for over 4 years now, and I love my Kuvings so much. Fully Raw Christina recommends it, and it has been like my lifesaver. I carry it everywhere with me. It's easy to use, slow masticating, easy to clean, everything. And like, it's one of the best juicers to make pineapple as well. It has a big like opening, and it's just for me, it's like my favorite. Also, the Green Star Elite is really excellent. So, and then if you have a little bit even higher price point, if you have a higher budget, the Pure juicer is like the best of the best. The Pure or Nama juicer is also really excellent. So I'm not here to tell you which one to use. I would just recommend, looking, even if you could look for some that's gently used online, it would be better to do your juice cleanse with a slow masticating juicer, twin blade or single blade. And it's worth the investment, because also the yield will be more, with those like kind of less expensive models, you don't get as much juice, and it oxidizes the juice. It's not as much nutrients. It's not as good for the enzymes. So invest in a good juicer. And how long should you go? Until all the plaque is out. So it could be different for everybody. It could be 40 days. It could be 60 days, 90 days plus. I would say 40 days is an absolute minimum. Absolute minimum. I cannot stress that enough. People think, 40 days, I'm done. No, you want to not see any plaque for at least 1 week following the protocol that I'm going to tell you with the husk and clay. So at least 1 week, possibly 2 weeks. I stopped for 2 weeks, and then I started having more waste. So use your intuition, use your inner guidance. You have to pray. You have to really meditate on when is the time to stop, right? Because those parasites are going to play tricks on you and say, I want food and I'm ready to eat and all of that. But it's really important that you continue until all the waste is out. And you will know when all the waste is out. Okay. So bentonite clay and psyllium husk. This we're going to introduce between day 10 and day 14. Around that time, so at the beginning, the first few days, you will probably stop having bowel movements. That is totally normal, right? You might have some at the beginning and then they will stop. That's totally normal. Don't freak out. That is just like you're going to access the deeper layers of the waste as you introduce the psyllium husk and clay. So the juices are there to loosen everything up, to get the body ready. And when we introduce these agents to help extract the mucoid plaque, then it'll start coming out. It may or may not start coming out on day 14 or at the beginning. You may need a few rounds to extract it, right? So be patient. Trust your process. This is nobody else's journey but yours. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. And don't tell me that it's the husk and clay that's the mucoid plaque, because there is no way that amount of waste is coming out. It's just a little bit. It's just like a little teaspoon of each every day mixed in with some water. You want to mix it up with some water. And there is no way that the amount of mucoid plaque that comes out of a body is that. So anybody who says that has not removed their plaque. And also, people have removed their plaque with water cleansing, water fasting. So I just want to say that in there, that even without the husk and clay, people have removed their mucoid plaque. Also on an all-fruit diet, people have removed their mucoid plaque, okay? So people ask, it's just this. No, just try it out and you will see the amount of crap that comes out of you, and you will not come tell me that it's the husk and clay. You can either get the liquid bentonite clay or the powdered, right? So look at your health food store, and they have it online as well. You could look for those. So basically, this is how it's going to go. So when you start around day 10 or 14, 10 to 14, or when you start having loose stools. So I said you're going to stop having stools. At some point, you will start having some loose stools that will come, typically. You could start the husk and clay around then. As long as it's been about 10 days, then you can start the husk and clay. On the first day, you will do 1 teaspoon of husk and 1 teaspoon of clay. You mix it up in some water, Make sure you have a lot of water so it's not sludgy, and you drink that. You can have it at any time during the day. You could have it with juice. You could have it with water. Up to you, right? And then on day 2, you're going to do 1 teaspoon and 1 teaspoon 2 times a day, right? So it's going to be 1 teaspoon of husk, 1 teaspoon of clay, twice a day. And then on day 3, it's going to be 1 teaspoon of husk, 1 teaspoon of clay, 3 times a day, right? So 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Then on day 4, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of husk, 2 teaspoons of clay, once a day. Then we're going to go to 2 teaspoons of husk, 2 teaspoons of clay, twice a day. And on the 6th day, we're going to do 2 and 2, 3 times a day. So it goes in increments, right? And of course, again, it's not a perfect science. If you want to hit it harder and you want to take some more and really get things moving, go ahead. You know, if you want to take it a little bit slower and you're ready to go a little bit longer, then go slower. You know, it's really up to you. This is your journey, but this is just a recommended guide for you to go by. After the 6th day, you will take a break. Take a break for a couple days, 4, 5, 6 days, and continue the juices. We were continuing the juices even throughout the bentonite, clay, and husk. We're just continuing the juices the whole time. And then you start again. Right? If you're doing liquid bentonite clay, use tablespoons instead of teaspoons. This is for powdered clay recipe. Okay? And then if you don't want to stop, also, you could continue. You can continue with the husk and clay throughout. Just continue. Just if you keep releasing, continue. You do not want to stop the cleanse as long as you're releasing, right? You're going to create a lot of issues in your body. No matter what the parasites tell you, you continue to do it. You continue, right? So, okay, so we're at day 6, you take a break, and then continue after that, and you might need to do a few rounds of the husk and clay, right, to get it all out. And to support the organs of elimination, you can do enemas, right? Lemon enemas with distilled water. I squeeze a lemon in there and do an enema. I will make another video on enemas, or you could look up ways of doing it. I'm going to try to keep this under an hour so it's easy to watch and share. So you could use just like a regular distilled water as well. Other helpful tools and tips: skin brushing, rebounding, walking, light yoga. You don't want to do too much exercise during a juice cleanse, but it is good to keep on moving, but you don't have to start weightlifting or anything like that. It is time to heal. It is time to rest and reset. Right? You could also take enzymes during the fast. Those are really good for helping the gut and also helping rebuild the gut afterwards. I love enzymes. They are not necessary though. I did not do them on my first extended juice cleanse and I was fine. But now I swear by enzymes. I really love them. And you can find them online. Either Pyridime or also Purium has really good enzymes. I'm getting back on track with Purium, so I'll be able to provide those for you really soon. But for now, you could, find somebody who does do these superfoods. And to break the fast, I will just say a little bit about that. I will do another video about this, but if you're just watching this video, it's very important how you break your fast, right? So I want to guide you to that, guide you through the fast, to breaking the fast properly in another video, but do not break it with anything other than juicy fruit. You need to break your fast with juicy fruit. After so many days, possibly months on liquids, your gut, your stomach, your digestive system has been weakened, from not being digesting, which is okay. We just have to rebuild it in a smart way and a safe way, because this could potentially cause major health issues if you break it with something like pasta or a burger or something like pizza. And you may want to do that because your cravings are really strong, but please have some watermelon to start. Ease into building your digestive system back. It will get strong again. Eat as much watermelon as you want. eat strawberries, no bananas, nothing other than juicy fruit for that whole week. Okay, for 1 week, juicy fruit. And the longer you have juice cleanse, the longer you might have to go on the fruits. Keep on drinking juices as well. Stay super hydrated. You are going to need a lot of hydration to continue on, right? So that you're still in your fast for a few weeks after your fast is done. So first week is juicy fruit. Have mangoes, have oranges, have pineapple, that kind of fruit, right? Week 2, you can start introducing leafy greens. So a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of maybe some arugula or some tender leafy greens and things like that. No oil, no salt, just leafy greens with the fruit. Start building up the gut like that, right? And continue with the juices. Always continue. You don't have to have as much juices once you break your fast, but just still have some juices. I would say like at least 2 quarts a day of juices in addition to the fruit and then the leafy greens. And then week 3, you will introduce fats, healthy plant-based fats like avocados or hemp seeds. And I would go really easy on the fats to begin. And one of the challenges of breaking a fast is wanting to eat all those fats, especially if we've lost a lot of weight. So I'm guilty as charged right now. I've come off of a water fast and I just want fats all the time. And it's like, okay, you need to slow down. But it's been over a month now that I ended it and I'm still like craving the fats, which is okay. It's totally normal. Our body's kind of coming out of this intense detoxification. So we just want to be mindful of it might create some indigestion. If you eat the leafy greens too soon, you're going to have indigestion. If you eat the fats too soon, I mean, experience it on your own if you want. I'm telling you from my own mistakes. It might happen. I'm just warning you that it might create some discomfort. So week 3 is for fats. If you can do this properly and stick to the protocol, you will have an amazing result. You will feel great, and you will be able to transition much easier into the wonderful world of raw living foods. Your gut will be clean, your mind will be clear, and now is the perfect time to continue on with the fruits and vegetables. After you've done such an intense cleanse, it would be such a shame to start putting in like toxic foods and substances like alcohol or dairy or processed foods to your beautiful temple that has been purified and cleansed. So that's the trick, is going back out in the world of food and being like, okay, what do I eat now? And learning to make new recipes, learning to feed ourselves in a new way. But there's so much out there. There's like recipes online, there's friends that you can connect with, there's me, once you open up those doors, you will meet the people that you need to inspire you and help you on this path, this beautiful journey that is normal. It is not crazy. The rest of the world is crazy. This is the way we're supposed to be eating. This is our God-given nature and our God-given species-specific diet, eating fruits from the trees. How much more natural can that be? So people are just really disconnected, and it's okay. Like, we just got to be patient, and we got to just tune into ourselves and know why we're doing this, why we want to return to the Garden of Eden, why we want to create heaven within so we can create heaven without, create heaven out there, create this new paradigm in our world, right? So it starts by within. It starts by taking the leap of faith, a leap of courage, the warriorship path we're walking on. And it's like you wear that like a badge of honor. I am so proud to tell people I've juice cleansed for over 100 days, and tell people I've water fasted, and tell people that I am eating fruits and vegetables and that's all I eat, and I've quit drugs and alcohol. I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink coffee anymore. These are badges of honor because I have walked the path of the warrior, of the queen, of the king, like these are initiation rites to our higher self, to becoming who God needs us to be in this world, right? So take it on as a challenge, take it on as a personal mission that you are here to heal yourself, not just yourself, but from generations past, from things that your ancestors passed on to you, right? All this, we were born with this like crap in our DNA, and then from all kinds of stuff that they pushed onto us through our whole life. In order to awaken, in order to become who we truly are, we need to rid ourselves of what we are not, right? So wonderful. I hope this is clear. I hope this is good. If you have any questions, let me know. You go as long as you need to. You go as long as you need to remove the plaque, to remove the parasites. You do the cycle of the husk and clay continuously. You drink the juices continuously. You don't stop. Take deep breaths. Oh, I forgot to mention breath work is really important. Get into a breath work practice. Pray. Start oxygenating your cells in a whole new way. Go outside, ground, nature, put your feet in the earth. Oh, I should have said that earlier, but it's okay. These are tips that help a lot. Sun gazing, sunbathing, getting all the nutrition from earth, from Mama Earth, from nature, being outside. So it's not just nutrition that we feed ourselves with the juices or the foods. We get nutrition from the trees. Go hug a tree, play outside, and feed yourself with positive things. Be mindful of the music you're listening to. Be mindful of the movies you are watching, the books you are reading. Anything that stresses out your nervous system, you want to try to avoid as much as possible. Right? And if there's people in your household, just ask them to be as supportive as possible and don't tolerate any bullshit. This is your journey. You just say, I'm doing this for myself. I'm feeling great, or not. It's okay. Like, I'm just doing this for myself, and please respect me. And if they don't, well, it's a good time to start reevaluating your relationships. Straight up. Like, if they're not going to respect your path, if they're not going to respect you as a person, healing yourself, and they're going to be nasty and mean, you're going to see. You're going to see how much more in tune you're going to be with who you are. And I started not tolerating that kind of stuff. And I started really loving myself more with my first juice cleanse that I did that was extended. I started truly, truly loving myself. And did I let go of certain people? Yep. Did I let go of certain relationships? Yes. Because they weren't aligned anymore with my higher frequencies, and they just couldn't handle it. They just couldn't bear to see me do better. And they were triggered. They didn't understand. There's so many things that go on. So just be loving. And if you need to leave certain relationships, then leave them, It's going to be for your higher ascension and your higher purpose. And sometimes we have to do the hard thing. So when you're ready to do whatever it takes to heal, then you do it. When you're so desperate to do whatever it takes, sometimes we have to get to that point. We have to get to that, rock bottom, and be so desperate that we're ready to do whatever it takes to take back our power, to take back our freedom, and take back what was ours to begin with, that they took away from us. So claim back your power, claim back your authority, love yourself, know thyself, love thyself, and I am here for you every step of the way. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this was complete. I hope this was helpful. If you like this video and want to share it, please do. Please share it. Subscribe to my channel. I am breaking through some major fears right now to be able to share this information with you, and I would appreciate all the support in the world. Coming from my heart to yours, I send you all my love, and I send you all the best blessings. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Take care of yourself.